Welcome to Mobius, a planet made up of continents with fake-sounding names like Down Under, Africa, and Urish. Come on, people! Even the map looks like knockoff Earth. Oh, wait, what? This actually is the Earth in the distant future? And that's why there are talking super-evolved animals walking side by side with humans? Whoa, this shit got real, like Adventure Time real. In the 21st century of Earth history, we will make first contact with an alien race known as the Zorda. Big aliens that look like the nutsack of the Red Robin's coworker who waits to brain you in the meat freezer. The Zorda will offer us a place in their interplanetary alliance, which sounds way past cool. But because assholes run the world, this will all go to shit. Pretty much literally. A scientist named Ivan Kintabor will capture, study, and dissect the Zorda ambassador and steal its technology. Among Kintabor's machinations will be born a robot named Isaac, whose power matrix is made from Zorda technology. Strangely, this golden robot looks just like the E-102 robot that won't be made for another 10,000 years when Sonic Adventure is released on the Dreamcast. Wait a minute, Ivan Kintabor spelled backwards is Robotnik Navi. That means that he's actually a Navi piloting the husk of a fat clone human? Strangely enough, there is precedent for something like this in the Archie Sonic universe. And wait, Isaac is the first robot? Everyone knows the original Sonic robot is Motobug. The Zorda, of course, won't like being killed and dissected, and will answer assholery with douchebaggery by bombarding the Earth with gene bombs. Weapons that are intended to devolve life on a planet to a point of pre-intelligence. So basically like a reboot of humankind. I'd be into that. However, just like most reboots, things won't go exactly as planned. Some humans will in fact escape to underground cities that are safe from the effects of the gene bombs in the Hidden City Initiative. Also, in the primordial ooze these bombs create, the DNA of humans and animals will combine to form an intelligent Mobian species and transform humans into mutated freaks called overlanders who only have 4 fingers because reasons. And although the gene bombs are supposed to preserve the environment of Earth, they will instead cause an environmental cataclysm that will later come to be known as the Days of Fury. And it's at this point that Earth has become Mobius, and I stop using future tense to describe fake, awesome history. After the Zorda released their gene bombs on the planet, there was a massive environmental cataclysm where volcanic activity, earthquakes, and large storms caused billions of tons of dirt and ash to be thrown up into the sky, blocking sunlight all over the planet. Once the destruction finally came to an end, creatures called Mobosaurs roamed the planet. But their time was short. It wasn't long before the planet was bombarded yet again, this time by green and alien objects. No, not our Martian neighbors. These were Chaos Emeralds. Some say these mysterious green gems descended on the planet from space, while others claim they were another repercussion of the gene bombs. Regardless, these enigmatic stones caused another great shift in the weather and climate of the planet, killing off the Mobosaurs. Mostly. Some, however, learned to harness the power of the emeralds. These beings were granted omnipotence and became the Ancient Walkers, 3 former Mobosaurs who became connected to the Chaos Force. Another being known as Mammoth Ixis Mogul was granted immortality when a falling Chaos Emerald embedded itself in his chest. He used his new powers to dominate the surrounding tribes, but eventually misused and lost his power. Mistakes he would take to heart. In the meanwhile, Mobians, anthropomorphic animals with high intelligence, became the new dominant species on the planet. Of the Mobians, the Echidna were the first to harness the power of the Chaos Emeralds. They developed technology, traveled to the stars, and advanced science to the point of being able to study the Chaos Force surrounding the Chaos Emeralds. 2 Echidna scientists from the colony of Albion became super beings when the Ancient Walkers allowed them to ascend into the Chaos Force in order to continue their research of Chaos Emeralds. They were wife and husband Aurora La and Enerjack. However, Enerjack became corrupted by his powers. But because his new connection to the Chaos Force made him impossible to destroy, the only thing Aurora and the Ancient Walkers could do was scatter his being across the Chaos Force. This left him weak, but he would return to seek power by possessing other Echidna in the future. In the aftermath, Aurora La changed changed her name to Aurora and created the Echidna Tomes. These writings contain information about the early history of Mobius and the prophecy of an avatar. It would seem that emeralds granted great ability to both create and destroy, and thanks to the technology their power granted the Echidna, Mammoth Mogul's quest for world domination was again met with defiance when he returned with his chaos magic. After Mogul's defeat, he honed his powers and developed a following, named the Order of Ixis. But the Echidna Albion Knights of Aurora fought back against Mammoth Mogul and his Order of Ixis, a wizard caste bent on world domination. The Knights took their name from Aurora and were the only force advanced enough to stand up to a young Mogul. This war affected Mobius in a variety of ways. First, a new species called the Mutates appeared, who fought on both sides of the war. Secondly, cybernetics were invented. Thirdly, the Tasmanian Devil was devolved to a state of pre-intelligence by Echidna scientists, a controversial affair. And finally, the second form of Enerjack appeared. In the end, the Albion Knights defeated Mogul and wiped out the Order of Ixis, but the war left Mobius ravaged. Most budding societies were destroyed, and written records around the globe were lost. These battles between Ixis and the Echidna became known as the Forgotten Wars. And although the Echidna had won the day, Mogul and 3 of his disciples, Agunas, Nuskau, and Suguna, would survive and merge to form one more wizard named Ixis Nagas thousands of years later. Hundreds of years later, a comet was discovered by Echidna scientists Jordan and Kayla La. The comet was hurtling toward the Echidna settlement Echidnopolis in Down Under. While their fire ant allies dug deep beneath the city to separate it from the ground, the Echidna used the power of 12 Chaos Emeralds to lift the city into the sky. Once the calamity of the comet had passed, 2 Echidna scientists named Edmund and Dimitri invented the Chaos Siphon, a device that would slowly drain the power of the 12 Chaos Emeralds holding Angel Island aloft, allowing it to return to the ground. However, when the idea to return to the ground was rejected by the government, Dimitri stole the device in anger and used it to destroy 11 of the 12 emeralds. The power of the emeralds was absorbed into his body, and he went insane from the power, eventually being possessed by Enerjack. As a result, the position of Guardian was created, a single Echidna charged with the protection of Angel Island and its Chaos Emeralds. The chain of generational Guardians would continue to modern times, with the current Guardian being Knuckles the Echidna. It was at this time that one Mobian named Alexander Acorn wanted to unify the different societies of the world and their skills and technologies into one community. However, the human overlanders reacted aggressively to the idea, and the Echidna distanced themselves from the effort as their technology vastly surpassed that of any other society. Despite this, Mobians of all kinds would come together to build a city for all, named Mobotropolis, the first multicultural city since the planet was referred to as Mobius. Alexander was named king of Mobotropolis for his efforts, and his legacy would continue to the modern age, where we would eventually meet Princess Sally Acorn. And in thousands of years of Mobian history, we have yet to encounter one blue hedgehog. That's all the time we have for today. But if you'd like us to continue our look at the history of Mobius, be sure to like, subscribe, and leave a comment below. And with that comes the end of this season of Know Your Planets. Thank you everyone so much for watching and for your continued support. And be sure to comment on our videos to let us know what planets you'd like to see in future episodes. Take care of yourselves, take care of the planet, always be looking up to the heavens, and we'll see you next time on another fact-packed episode of Know Your Planets.
Up, over, and streaking.